Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to a new video. Today we are going to go out and work some ground here in a little bit, but it's not much. It's just one of the no-till fields with the headlands where we load trucks is a little harder than what I would like to plan into, and I'm just not even going to screw around with it this time. I know there's going to be a yield drag there, so we're going to address that. The elephant in the room: are we going to plant? Are we going to plant? That's the question. I'm having a really hard time with this. I barely slept last night trying to figure out how I could make something work. But I think I've come up with a bit of a plan. Before we get into the plan, though, I want to show you guys, this is our spreadsheet for 2025. It says 2024 there, but that's what it was in 2024, all the fields, and that's what it's going to in 2025. So the reason why I printed these off is in case I stick somebody in the tillage tractor, they can see where they're supposed to go. Most of it's no-till, as you can see, but there are a few fields that got to be disked. Anything that's ripped has to be disked. Aside from that, we have maturities, or most of them, because I didn't fill in those ones for some reason, and populations. So, and then acres and the names. So the fields we were at yesterday is Mike's East, that's 68 acres. That was one that was too wet. Then we went back and looked at Billy's 5. That one would go, but we question it because it's no-till. It's kind of a catch-22, or it's kind of a just really questionable whether we should no-till this early or not. And then the other two that will go are Ringes North and South at 11 and 15. And those are also no-till. Now, the second thing that really started worrying me is the fact that today is the 16th. We'd be planting tomorrow on the 17th. That's a solid 8 days earlier than we did last year. Is that going to push harvest forward 8 days in the fall? So we were cutting, and we could have cut earlier, but we started cutting the second to last week of September. The second week of September just seems a little early for me. It could lead to some herbicide usage to manage weeds until we can get our wheat drilled. You never know what's going to happen if we get our wheat seed on time and stuff like that. But chances are I don't think it would push it back 8 days. At the most, it might push it back 4, because I think even though we're putting it in earlier, these beans aren't really going to come up much earlier than if we were to plant on the 25th. I could be wrong, but I don't know. But the main thing is the no-till. The no-till acres being the only ones that will go are just big question mark on whether we should actually go or not. We've never ran this early before, so it's still kind of a questionable deal to us. That being said, my plan is we are going to do that 11 acres at Ringes, I think, no matter what. We're going to use that field as our calibration field and get the fertilizer all figured out. So we can take our time on Thursday and just focus on that 11 acres, get the fertilizer dialed in, the in-furrow, the 2x2, and just take our time. That'll all be bagged. We won't have to mess with the tender. It'll be simple, easy. Well, I say simple and easy on the seed side, but fertilizer will be a pain in the butt. And then if we have ground conditions between now and then to fit that 70, then we will go down and plant that 70. But that requires that to be dry enough today, which we saw it yesterday. I don't know. It's borderline. If I opened it up today, it might dry in time, but I just don't want to risk making a hard pan on that field. It's a pretty clay-based field, so you roll through the disc on that field too early, and you are definitely causing damage. So we're going to see. And it's currently still only about 35 degrees this morning. I don't know when it's supposed to warm up today. I thought the sun was supposed to be out. This tractor was ran once since we put the head gasket stuff in it. Haven't noticed anything out of the ordinary with it. I checked the oil on it yesterday, though, after it ran for that period of time. and the oil is turning back to black. So I think that's good. That means the water is evaporating out and it's not putting more water in at a faster rate. So we slowed it down for sure, but we'll see if the sucker can make it. Give us some glow plugs in a can. She should fire right up. Oh, she almost made it. This is the Ringe farm. We got 11 acres on this side, and then you got tree line and 15 acres on this side. We're unfolding right now. Just gotta hit like this section up to about where that hill crests right there. Same on that side, just very little area. Probably 2 passes on each side of the fields, and we'll be all good. I stopped and did kind of a rough pass, very shallow pass over the ruts where the floater got stuck, spreading lime. So that'll help that dry a little more uniformly, and then when we come in to fit that field for corn planting, it'll fit up a little nicer, I think. So now we're moving on to the next project of the day, which is Dad has a couple accounts that he, a couple horse farms that we haul manure from. Usually we haul it back to the farm, but recently we've picked up somebody who wants to buy the manure. So now we haul from the horse farms to the new place that we sell the manure to. So we borrowed a dump trailer because it's just easier to get in there with that than with our big straight truck. And Dad hooks the 40/20 on the dump trailer. He says it's easier to use that. It's not very far. It's a couple miles down the road. Dad's pulling around, fuel up. It's up 40 degrees now. Sun's out, feels good. We're getting into a little bit of what I would consider drying weather, but we're not there yet. Well, we just wrapped up the manure project, or Dad did about an hour ago. I was helping my sister tear apart a camper that we have out back. We are tearing the camper right down to the frame and maybe building a bale hauler out of it. We don't know yet. Dad just took off with a hay delivery, so we took some hay out of here. Got a couple hundred bales left in here, I think, of second cutting, and the stack fell over about a week or two after we stacked it. So it's been like that for a while, but yeah. So hay's kind of moving slow at the moment for us anyway. I'm not looking for customers at the moment. If once first cutting comes in, I will probably be trying to get rid of this, or a little before, probably the 1st of May. I'll list this second cutting, try and get it out of here. Right now we just have one person buying a round bale and 8 squares about every 7-10 days. And yeah, one person I was selling 2
Ran a horse rescue. I think they ran out of horses at the moment, so they're not buying any. I went down, checked that 70 acres a day again today, and it ain't ready. It's not going to be ready. It would probably be dry enough to fit right before the rain comes on Friday, and then obviously it would have needed 24 hours more before we could plant it. So that one's not going to happen. I did check an 18-acre field next to Dad's house on the other side of his house from the 70. That one is dry enough to plant. I think there's a few wet holes that we know are usually wet pretty late into the season, so there would be spots there that wouldn't necessarily be great, but they would be planted. I was checking it because I needed to know if I needed to burn it down tomorrow. My thinking is if we can plant ringes tomorrow, then I will go out as well tomorrow and burn down any fields that we can spray or any fields that we can plant in another week. So there's the 24 acres that we were walking the other night, and that 18 down at Dad's house.
Good morning. I'm running out to the milk house real quick, get the water going to my cone bottom tank. That way we got some test fluid to run through the planter, and then we'll get everything unfolded. Run water through both tender systems and put water in both planter systems. Run everything, make sure everything works. We're not blowing hoses, we're not doing stuff like that. And then we will empty it all out, run it all empty, mix our first in-furrow load, mix our 2x2, and then we can load with seed and head to the field. Our hose is a little bit frozen this morning. Took the Hudson valve off because that was frozen solid. This thing's never worked since the day I bought it anyway. It's a piece of junk, but I left it on there just hoping that it would eventually work someday. But we filled this thing up and emptied it out dozens of times last year, and it never once shut the water off. So I gotta get a float valve at some point for this, but here we go. We're getting somewhere now. I already ran the floating balls for the Wilger indicators out to the planter. The orifices are out there, so when we get unfolded, we can put all that stuff in. I ran out a talc graphite mix out there because we were getting low on that. We still have regular talc. And then I put the pump in the sidekick tote. And so we are just about ready to start test firing. But I did just remember that the ag leader monitor is not in there and the globe is not on the roof, so we're gonna grab that stuff out of the barn and go install the InCommand 1200 and the, I think it's a 7500 receiver. I've got about 50 gallons in the in-furrow tender and 200 gallons in the 2x2. Probably won't put all that 200 gallons in, but we'll see. Alright, we got the planter down right now, just so we can load it. Furrow jets all look okay, I think. They better have made them tolerable to doing this, because you gotta put the planter down to unfold. But I'm just going around checking my 2x2 valves, making sure they're closed right now. And then we'll start pumping. This is how I kind of want to pull up to the planter. Truck's gonna come past a little ways, and then the tender comes off because the primary hose is on that side, but there's enough to where it will run around and not cause any problems. So, as you can see, but valves are all closed, we're good. Open these valves. Everything's cold though. It took forever for that pump at the mix spot to quit blowing smoke. Got anything coming out yet? Alright, well, everything worked except for the fact that it's
blowing water out of this gasket right here. So we'll have to take that all apart again, re-goop it, and tighten it back down again. Hopefully that'll hold once it comes to actual planting time. We got 40 gallons in it. Another thing is this tote is sucking down. I had the lid cracked, but I guess not enough. And then that breather on that tank is a little slower than pumping, so you got to crack that lid as well while you're filling. But all right, now I'm gonna open the pump valves. Strainer's got water in it already, so that's good. We're gonna calibrate for 4 mile an hour right now. Planting beans, we probably could push it 4.5, but we're gonna go with 4. And I may end up having to pick up a different set of orifices to go to corn, but we'll see. Corn, 40 PSI is going to be 4 mile an hour in beans. If we were to push 4 mile an hour in corn, which we don't usually have the conditions to push that fast, but you never know. Oh, while it's down, we got to put those orifices in. Usually the no-till is where we can push the higher speeds, because our fitting rig, our disc, it does a terrible job. So if you run the disc, you're basically putting a speed trap at 3.5 mile an hour. And I've even had to plan it 2 mile an hour to keep ride quality, but it's not great. So we'll see what happens. All right, after a couple hours of screwing around, we got everything to get everything working right. So what the problem started out as, or what the first thing we have, is this furrow jet, the one with the newer style manifold. It's not getting high enough pressure. We think it's because of the way we have it split here. So I ran to a local precision dealer, got a different Y, a distributing Y, T instead of a regular one, and enough hose to redo that run. And then the other issue, that pump, like I was talking about, I'm eliminating the rubber gasket out of it because there's just not enough surface area for that gasket to stay. It keeps wanting to pop in. And so we're eliminating that gasket. But in order to do that, got to do an RTV silicone gasket. And this pump is going to be tied up for 24 hours while it cures. So what we are going to do, and I can only do this because we are running beans, is I'm going to use this pump for both the 2x2 and the M-furrow. Reason why I can do that, 318/18 does not mix with 28. That's the only thing it doesn't mix with. So what we are going to be doing is, the only thing that is running in the 2x2 is Sidekick, which is double aught 25, and boron. So we can run that pump for the in-furrow as well for now, and then tomorrow or whenever we can get this pump set back up. Everything that we did last year is still good. There's nothing wrong with anything from last year. The 2x2 worked flawlessly. The in-furrow, we had to bleed the air off of it, and then there was a bunch of little rubber pieces from the new hose that went off and plugged all the orifices, so we had to clean the orifices all out, and we ended up just running it without the tops in the manifold and just blowing all that gunk out. And then after that, it worked flawlessly except for this one furrow jet. So we're gonna get that fixed up and we'll be going. And as of right now, the rain for tomorrow is pushed back most definitely into tomorrow night, but then also maybe even into Saturday night. So that's good. We may get a day to run tomorrow as well if we don't get done today what we want to get. All right, so we ran a bead around all the bolt holes and around the edge and everything, and it says in the instructions to hand tighten the bolts down until it starts squeezing out, which it's doing. And now we have to let it set for an hour and then come back and torque the bolts and then let it set for 24 hours and let it cure. So what I'm gonna do now is first I'm gonna go check on my water tank because I left it filling and it's probably full. All right, well, I got that furrow jet on. I managed to put the line on the wrong bib, so I'll have to move one over and we'll get that done when we get up to the shop. But Big problem is there's contaminants in this tank, which was clean when we mounted it. So I've got to go up and power wash it out and clean it up and shop vac it something, get it all cleaned, because I just went through the whole deal of plugging every orifice again. Oh, it's a mess. Pain in the butt. Might have to add a couple more screens onto this, because for some reason the 80 mesh is letting contaminants past. So we got to figure that out. I got the tank dried out. Then I went through and shop vaced everything I could out of it. Now I'm going to take a microfiber cloth and go up and down that tank, try and get anything I can out. Because it's a big problem. I mean, there was so much stuff in that tank. I don't know where it came from. Hopefully it's not coming from my setup over there, which I've never had sprayer issues, so it shouldn't be. Microfiber cloth. I'll get this figured out eventually, but also I reseated the screen, because some of this stuff, it shouldn't be flowing past an 80 mesh screen, but I don't know. I reseated the screen just to see if that would make a difference. We'll see. It's been an hour, so I retorqued those bolts on the pump. And yeah. You can see getting pretty clean. Hopefully it's clean enough. This just really turning into one of them days, you know? Pump doesn't want to run now. It'll run for about a second and a half and then cut out, and it'll run for about 2.5 seconds with the choke on and then cut off. I had it all tore down and the throttle was stuck in idle, and I fixed that and it still won't work. I don't get it. Small engines are weird. I don't know what else to do. Well, we're back to ground zero. I don't know how, but I got the pump working. Blew water all over the place because I didn't have a cap on the tank. Now the tank's contaminated again. So I'm done for the day. I'm gonna wait till Dad gets back from drilling hay. It's looking like we may end up going to the fertilizer place to get screens, because I'm screening that tender. I'm screening my mixing station. I'm just flat out can't deal with this anymore today. I'm gonna clean this tank out again and then just go in the house, get something to eat. It's like 3 o'clock now. I haven't eaten anything at all day. It's so frustrating. I'm gonna get more screens for the planter. There's an 80 mesh on there right now. I'm gonna get the finest screen you can find and put it on there with the 80 and try and get this stuff to filter. I don't know why. That 80 mesh should be plenty, but somehow it's not. Stuff's getting by and it's plugging the orifices, and I've had enough of it. All right, I had lunch and a 2-hour drive to our fertilizer plumbing store and back. Got some fresh eyes, so grabbing my list of what I needed. We got 5 screens total. I'll show you guys. We've got a 100 mesh screen to put right off of that 80 on the planter, and then we have a 120 mesh screen to put on our fill hose on the tender. We have another 120 mesh screen to put on the water tank over at the mix pad, and then also at the mix pad, but past the pump and past the inductor on the fill hose on that. We have a 120 mesh screen to put on that, and then we have a 100 mesh screen to put on the 2x2 tender on the fill hose. So from the water tank to the planter, stuff's gonna get screened 1, 2, 3 times, and then on the planter it's gonna get screened again. Well, all the new stuff's plumbed in now. We've got a 100 mesh strainer on the output hose of that tender there. Got a 120 on the M-furrow. Got a 100 mesh T-strainer on the planter there next to the 80. I redid that, cleaned it up, and got rid of the big loop just while I was doing that. And over at the mix pad, we have a 120 directly on the water tank, and then 120 coming off the inductor onto the fill hose. So hopefully now We can do this without problems. Got about 35 gallons in there. Let's see how clean it looks. It was clean in the tote. Or cleaner, I should say. A lot better than it was, we'll put it that way. And this tank needs to be tightened up again. How in the world? It keeps loosening up a bit every time you put fluid in it. Oh, beautiful. It's perfectly clean. Finally, we're getting somewhere. There's one little speck of something there, but that 100 micron filter or 100 mesh filter should get it. Feeling so much better about that this time. All right, so I'm going to crawl down, pop an end cap on that, I think, because that pump keeps losing prime if that manifold goes empty, so I don't know. We'll see. I don't think I need to turn the tractor on. I think we can just let her rip hickory chip. There's some water in there. Maybe it hasn't lost prime. Let's run her. Alright, need that switch on and that switch. Oh. Before we burn the pump up, let's open the inlet hose, because that would be helpful. I just want this to work flawlessly right now so I can go plant beans tomorrow. All right, that switch is on. Now we go on. Don't have pressure yet. Okay, we're gonna run back, crack that manifold. I don't know why this is bleeding off. If that means there's a little leak somewhere or what. But I just got to pull one of these and let the manifold fill up. Alright, now we should be good. Flip that on. Yep, we're building pressure. Building. 34. Come on, there's got to be more than that. Come on. It was at like 45 last time. She's blowing air out, I think. There we go. Furrow jets are sputtering a little bit. It should be 40. That's what we're shooting for. Okay. That should be about right. Got furrow jets jetting. Good. Good. Not good. Come on. Oh, never mind. It's good. It's just hitting the closing wheel. Good. I keep getting me nervous hitting the closing wheel. Good. Folks, we have an in-furrow system that works. We had an in-furrow system before, it just didn't work. Here we go. All right, I'm gonna pull these vac plugs out because I will forget tomorrow and go and suck them right into the vac and really screw something up. I'm just gonna let this run here for a couple minutes. There is a 50% chance of a half a tenth of rain at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, or earlier, like 4 o'clock, I think. So if that hits us, we may still be okay to go. But if it doesn't hit us, we are for sure going. There's a couple little chance of rain here and there tomorrow, but I think there will be beans in the ground tomorrow. Gosh, I hope so. After today, I just want to do it and be done. That one's a little weak there. I don't know. Maybe it's okay. There we go, folks. I was going to go out and spray tonight, but the wind is too finicky. It's gusting up to 20, and I don't want to do that right now. The fields that I'm doing are protected, but I'd rather just not do it. We're not going to get as much planted as I thought we were anyway, so I have time. As soon as I get a good day, we'll go and spray those fields. I got 2 specifically that need to be done, but we'll get them done eventually. So with that, thank you guys for being with me for the first day of planting. It got pretty dreary there for a little bit, but we're ready to go. Stay tuned tomorrow for the second day of planting, where we will start planting. So thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you next time.